I thought I was gonna get some Michael Jackson, man. I knew the ladies like that. I know the ladies like that. Well, you know, we were talking about Michael Jackson, and that reminded me because I had like the greatest Michael Jackson moment. Anybody been on a cruise before? Cruises are fun. I had the privilege on going on 3 cruises, but the first cruise I went on, it was just so cool. The weather was right, and you know, go to the center of the boat. They got the pool, and everybody's around the pool. They have so much to do on the boat, and they had this Harry Man's competition, right? Now this is a trip. Now this is gonna trip you guys out. So I was with my girlfriend. I said, babe, I think I'm gonna enter. I mean, I was always been small and petite like this, but some people just don't know some stuff that I know. So I said, babe, I'm gonna enter this Harry Man competition. She's like, you are? You? I said, yeah. I said, I think I can take this. So she says, okay, honey. So I went and signed up, right? So it was about like 7 contestants. And he had some big white guys, big giant guys. You ever seen those big guys got hair all off their neck and arms and their back? These cats was like, but they come out, they do their little dance, they play some music, like, play some music for me. Give me some music, DJ Cornelius Grant. Give me all this funny stuff. Give me some Michael Jackson. I love the Michael Jackson. All right, it's okay. So the guys that come out, they do their little dances and stuff. You know, they move and everything. Right? So, okay, you can cut that one. All right, now, it was my turn. So, more music. I come on out. It was some Michael Jackson playing, right? So this one, I think it was Billie Jean that was playing. So I was doing my little dance and stuff. I had to go on. They was all clapping for me. And so when it came on to take off my shirt, I went bam! I said, ah! And booyah! You should have seen the faces on everybody. They was like, I mean, 3 people fell down like, boom! My girlfriend fell down, boom! Because they didn't see it coming. I had some chest. I've always had hair on my chest. I had hair on my chest ever since I was 15. I mean, it's not that it was a cool thing. It was actually a scary thing. Because I used to play basketball, right? And nobody, the guy who's sticking me just looking at me. I have them all hypnotized. I take off my shirt on the second hand, they be looking at me like, and I do a move, and I be gone. It was like, did you see that dude's chest? I was like, I'm serious. I mean, it got to a point where I said I was going to cut it off one day, so I decided to cut it off, and I did. And I itched like for a week. I was like Ray Charles, right? And so when it grew back thicker, right? I mean, it was to a point where you can almost, it was like coming out of my shirts almost, you know? I was shaving with my shirt on, just get the excess off. Right? But that reminded me, after the Michael Jackson, that Michael Jackson song came, because I had all the Michael Jackson moves, and I was just doing the dang thing, you know? I was just doing it. But I just wanted to tell y'all about that. That was the Michael Jackson moment I had, but all on the boat for 3 days, they kept showing that. On the videos, man, everywhere we go, we'll be eating somewhere, and they say, look, baby, they go to Harry Man competition. They see me, doing that. The whole trip, by the time we left that boat, everybody knew me. They was like, oh, wow, hey, this is the guy. Hey, honey, come here, take a picture. You know, the Harry Man. I won that thing. They gave me a little trophy and everything. That was just a good time. I had such a good time. But that's not a joke. I just want to share that Harry Man competition with you. But no, I just wanted to just get that out. So here we are. You know, 2012. I had a good holiday, and I'm 49. No, well, let me see. How old am I? I'm 49 years old. Yeah, believe it, I am. I'm 49. I got 2 children, a 24-year-old and a 21-year-old and a 3-year-old grandchild. But it's all about the grandchild. It's all about little JoJo. She's such a darling thing. She calls me Papa. And, you know, and she likes her Papa. She says, Papa, does Santa Claus have kids? I said, no, JoJo. Santa Claus don't have any kids. And I thought that would be it. And she says, how come Santa Claus don't have kids? I told her because he only comes once a year. And the mama looked at me. She looked at me. She says, I knew you didn't say that. I said, she's only 3. She don't know. I said, at least I didn't tell her why witches don't have kids. She says, well, why? I said, because their husbands have Halloweenies. But you know what? The funny thing is that, I don't know how many of you guys have kids, or grandkids, but I've always got my kids, when they was growing up, I've always bought them the things they wanted, good gifts, expensive gifts. But now that they're adults, they give me crappy gifts. They don't give me nothing. I spent money on them for all these years. But now when Christmas comes, I get one thing from out of both kids. And they give me goofy stuff. Stuff I don't even use. Handkerchiefs with a bee on it. They gave me that 2 years in a row. One year was just white ones, the next year was white ones again. With the same bee, but they was just in a different alphabetical whatever. I still got them. I don't even use that. What am I supposed to do with the handkerchief? But this year they got me something different. They put Joke from JoJo on there. And it was, I don't know what it was. I was like, what is this? I put it together, it's to get the hairs out of my nose and out of my ears. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all saying? They gave me Viagra. And I'm sorry, because I keep getting this. Man, I took one last week. I never use this stuff, but there's a lot of stuff I don't use, but I took this thing, because I hear about it, but it didn't go down, it got caught. Right here, and ever since then, I've been having a stiff neck. I be dry, I can't do nothing. I put the rest of them in the plants are just growing like crazy. I put some in the cereal, in my oatmeal, everything, it works for everything, I tell you. It's just a multi-person pill, I tell you. But today I had a gig at a single living home, a bunch of old, not a bunch of old people, they were older than me. I thought it was like a 70s party, but it wasn't. They all was like 70. So I get there, and I told them, I was going to do they was going to pay me for an hour, which was cool, because that's all I could probably do was an hour. So they told me to be there at 3 o'clock, and they was going to have punch and cookies for them, right? She said, we're going to put out some punch and cookies for them. We're going to get them ready. They like me, but if I tell them that we're having punch and cookies, they're all going to come. So that was their plan. They were going to put punch and cookies up, and I was going to come. So I got there. It was so funny because they wanted me to perform in front of this fireplace situation, and they had chairs and stuff on this side, chairs and everything. People was actually there. I walked in, they was all looking at me like, because I had on a tuxedo and everything, bow tie and everything. They were looking at me like, wow. They said, this is going to be a real good show. But I was concerned because I was going to sing. My main job was to sing, but in between the singing, I was going to tell some jokes. So I was kind of scared about the jokes I was going to tell. So I just said, you know what, Greg, go ahead, tell the jokes anyway. So the first joke I told him was, I told him when I was younger that my father, he told my mother he's going down to the corner to file for Social Security because the office was walking distance, right? So he says he's going to walk down there. She says, okay, honey, go on down. So he says he went down there, he stood in line, and when it was his turn to get to the counter, the lady asked for his driver's license. And he's like, oh. He says, I forgot my wallet at home. He says, I'll go home and get it. And she says, no. She said, that's okay. She said, just unbutton your shirt. He said, excuse me? She says, unbutton your shirt. And he says, okay. So he unbuttoned his shirt. And she says, okay, you're approved. And he was like, I said, what? She said, oh, I can tell by the gray hairs on your chest that you're year of age, you're qualified, you're eligible. She was like, well, wow, well, thank you. So he came back home, and my mom said, well, honey, how did it go? She said, babe, the lady approved my application just by the hair on my chest. She said, well, you should have dropped your pants. She probably could have approved you for disability as well. Now, can I tell that? I told that. They laughed, So I said, oh, they like that one. I said, well, let me keep on going then. So I was over at the where was I? I was at Nini's Cafe having dinner with my mom and my 2 children, right? And there was a booth of 3 ladies sitting right behind me, right? And they were talking. They were older ladies, and they were talking. And one lady said, she said, "Child, She says, sometimes I'll be sitting on the edge of my bed. She says, I don't know if I'm getting up or going to sleep. And then the other lady said, ooh, child, I know what you mean. She said, I'll be standing at them stairs. I don't know if I'm going up or going down. And the third woman said, ooh, child, y'all got some problems. I hope I never get like y'all, knock on wood. Hello, who is it? I'm just letting them rip at this point because I don't know. I was like, hey, I was like, well, I said, a blind man walked into Kmart the other day as I was on my way out. He had a CNI dog, right? So the man picked up the dog by the back of his legs and started spinning the dog around. And the clerk came running out and says, excuse me, sir. He says, you need some help? He says, nah, I'm just looking around. All right, that's enough of that. All right, let me see here. Y'all liking these jokes, huh? All right, let's keep this thing rolling. There was these 3 women on an airplane, right? And the pilot got on the announcement, says, you know, ladies and gentlemen, says, be calm. We're going through some serious turbulence and so forth. So it's going to be a lot of shaking going on and so forth. So he's like, okay. So then he came back 5 minutes and says, you know what? We're going down. We're going down. Everybody started panicking. Oh my God. Oh my God. So there was a white lady on the end. You know, she had the aisle seat. She started going to her purse and she started taking out all these diamond earrings. She was putting on earrings, expensive jewelry, bracelets, and all kind of stuff. And the 2 ladies that were sitting next to her says, what are you doing? She says, if this plane goes down, I want them to be able to find me. They're going to see all this bling bling, and they'll be able to find me wherever we at. He was like, oh. So the Mexican lady in the middle, she broke out this skillet out of her thing, and she started like making like carnitas and tacos and all kind of good. Had the whole plane smelling good. They was like, what are you doing? And she said, I'm going to cook this authentic Mexican food, and if we crash, they're going to smell the aroma from the bushes, and they're going to come find me. And he was like, what? And the black lady on the end, she had the window seat. She started taking all her clothes off. She's sitting in that plane, butt naked. They like, what are you doing? She looked at them 2 ladies and said, everybody knows when the plane crashed, they always look for
black box. Oh.
Yeah. All right. Any Chinese people here? Yeah! No, are you really? Yeah. Are you 100%?
Quarter.
Okay, good. You don't qualify. No. So that means I can tell this joke. All right. There was a Chinese couple. We're just going to say they're Chinese tonight, okay? There was a Chinese couple on their honeymoon, right? So here they are, they're in their honeymoon suite. They're just about to go to bed, and, you know, the husband's in bed. He's like waiting. He's waiting for his new bride to come out the bathroom, right? So she finally comes out, right? She came out and it got silent. So she got in bed. She turned out the light, so they both sitting there. And so the guy says to his wife, he says, honey, he says, what do you want? She says, I want a number 69. He said, you want a beef and broccoli now? Whoa! They didn't get that. Oh, they wasn't funny. Lately, okay. Hey, you guys know there's a speed limit on sex, right? It's 68.